Welcome back to RSQ. We just finished reading Chloe's Kingdom. This is a YA space
Sure.
heist about a girl named Chloe who's living on a spaceship and has to put together a master heist with her friends. But you're here to listen to us tell you what we think about the book because this is our long form full review. So let's jump into it. Curtis, how'd you feel
Let's
about the
hop
characters?
right in. So I gave this one a half point. I liked our characters. For the most part, I felt like I liked Chloe and Penny. Those are our kind of main character duo, essentially. They were good. I felt like we didn't get a lot of, I guess, the depth I was looking for. I know it's YA, so you're not going to get as much, but I feel like they didn't. There's not much that they overcame. Dutch had some character development where he overcame his fear. He had his hand chopped off in an airlock and went back out for his friends. Thought that was cool. And I guess Penny overcame her fear in doing the big heist, but there wasn't a lot of like actual character development that I guess I was looking for, even for YA. But the character is really fun. The villain was fun. Um, this is a spoiler review. Not a spoiler free review. So 3, 2, 1. Jubilee. Her character arc.
Spicy.
I didn't see it coming. I liked
I
the
didn't
twist,
either.
and I liked her character a lot. And I liked the barkeep too, Marty. He was cool.
Other
But
authors, take note. Give your readers a character that they love and then make them suddenly very evil.
I was just trying to think of a movie to compare that to. I can't off the top of my head,
Me
but
neither. But
I'm-
if it pops up, we'll throw it in.
we'll throw it in.
But yeah, I agree. I gave it a half point here too. We had a really fun cast. The whole community on the ship was very cool. I give it a half point because I thought it was lacking depth and I don't think we saw like a full picture, a full development of a lot of the characters. Like start to finish,
Mhm.
they start somewhere, grow to a certain point, and end up somewhere new, having overcome something. Dutch, like you said, he had his fear that he overcame, but I think we were missing some more depth. And I don't think that it's not that YA doesn't have depth. I think that it can be simpler. The depth can be the whole character journey can be a simpler journey. It doesn't
Yeah.
have to be like over the course of 10 books and they go to different worlds and different planets and overcome a really complicated trauma. It's just the amount of depth, right?
They just have to change from the beginning of the book to the end, even if it's because this is a duology, or at least there's 2 books out. I don't know if there's going to be a third one. So they can change from book to book, but in the one book, there has to be some sort of change. I feel like, and it was like I could see it was trying to get there, it just didn't get there. I felt like for me. So that's why I get a half point.
Yeah.
But the characters were fun and enjoyable.
Very likable cast.
Originality and creativity. I personally gave this one a 1. I thought it was for one. I haven't read a heist book in a long time, or if ever. But even so, the YA heist of them having to they're in like a space. What do you want to call it? Not the slums,
I've been
but
thinking
kind
of it as like a space station. I think the synopsis calls it a city spaceship, drifting city spaceship.
I'm just saying, like, they're
the
like, the main
Honeycombs?
cast is in like a slums, the Honeycombs, yeah. But like from them robbing the coin vault, I thought it was cool. It was unique, especially having the space aspect, and they have to go out in 0G, and as they get closer to the core, they get 0G. It was cool. I like what they did with it.
I agree.
You
But
agree? You give it full point as well?
yeah, I gave it a full point there as well. It was unique. Heist story is fun. It's been a while since I've had a heist story, if ever, and it was great. Heists are fun. And I just had a buddy asking me, "Can you recommend me a heist story?" And I was like, "I don't know that I have any." Until we got this one recommended to us, and I was like, "There's this one. Looks fun. I haven't read it yet, but I will soon." So
Would you consider Mistborn Final Empire
Oh,
book
that's
1
right.
a heist?
in
Technically?
spirit,
Kind of?
in spirit, it starts as a heist. I think that's the like hook, right? Like it's like come along for the heist, but then it quickly is not a heist.
I think it like its most base form it's a heist.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1 point each on that one.
And then from there, we're moving to the engaging storyline. Yeah, I thought the storyline was engaging. It was interesting. I was wondering what was going to happen next. I was hooked into the heist. I was waiting to see how our main characters how they were going to finish the heist, how they were going to spend their money, how they were going to get away with it. So the heist storyline had me hooked. I was ready.
Yeah, I liked how they got introduced to the heist and are like, we're not going to do it. It's too much risk. And then they had things come up like her mom getting injured. Also, did you notice that her name's Teresa and she acts as the Mother Teresa?
You mean
I just
Mother
noticed that when I was
Teresa?
talking about it.
I did not notice that.
But yeah, so they kind of like had to do it, and then Chloe's like, "Cool, I'm gonna spend all this coin on getting my burritos back." And then I like the planning. I like reading them planning
Yeah.
things out and figuring out how they're gonna do things.
I
So,
did
but
really
I thought,
like I really liked to jump back to characters really quick. I really liked Penny and how smart she was. That was really fun for the planning. Her like watching her like super genius her way into whatever she needed. That was fun.
yeah, I'm gonna talk about that a little bit later.
All
But I
right.
agree.
Hit me with it.
Um, yeah, so I gave the point as well. I enjoyed the story. The story end, however, Dakota, how are you feeling here?
Yeah, the story end was it felt like much like in Mistborn, but I think handled a little differently. The ending shifted. It was not necessarily heist focused by the end of the story. I mean, it was still like they got through their heist, but then where the story went, I was like, oh, I didn't know. Don't really know how we got to this conclusion. If that makes sense, like it was like suddenly not a heist. Jubilee is taking the supposed to be taking the money and running away on her spaceship to go somewhere else, and I was like, what is this? Where how do we come to the heist conclusion here? I think I just needed
I
to understand more.
I almost like I partially agree with you because I feel like I like when most of the time I like when a book will be like, this is the plot, and then you get 75% in, and then like the Jubilee thing happens, and you're like, wait, this actually isn't the bad guy, it's a different thing.
Yeah.
And then the heist ends up turning into something like I'm fine with that. I think that was all right. I just felt like you said along the lines, like it was hard, but I think this might be a little bit more maybe writing style. I just felt like there was a couple times like I'm not sure exactly how we got to this spot. Like I feel like we plot convenience really quick to get to like the next thing, like something happened.
Yeah.
But I also gave I also gave the ending a half point. There was a couple things like Dutch's brother tackling those two and putting himself in the airlock to like escape. It was emotional for the character, but it didn't serve any purpose other than to kill somebody, which I'm a big fan of, as you know. I think that I'm big
Kill your
fan of killing your
characters.
characters,
Curtis
kill
will
your
love it.
characters. But this one didn't have a point. He kind of just died for nothing. And even Jubilee was like, I didn't care about those guys and they weren't doing anything helpful anyway. So like that was
Now they're
needless.
dead.
Now they're dead. And now I don't have to pay them, so thanks.
Crazy.
Crazy. How's crazy once? So I give it a half point. It's kind of hard with story end for book one and
Yeah. And in a dual,
type things.
yeah, with a cliffhanger, and it's like maybe we'll get answers in the next book, but like you said, I think it was the execution, like how we got to the ending. The shift wasn't so smooth. The shift away from the heist and into the there's a new big bad and there's a new big problem. I think I could have used a smoother shift there.
Yeah, I just think because I liked the ending and that's why I gave it a half point because I feel like it led us well. I guess like the direction it's going to head is nice. Like you can tell where it's going to head, but
Yeah.
like you said, there's a couple gaps where I was like, I feel like I don't necessarily know how this character did this or this character did that. It kind of just convenienced their way into that thing, I guess. I don't
Yeah.
know. But
Yeah.
it also, yeah, so half point for there.
So jumping over to the world building and setting, how'd you feel about that?
I guess a full point.
Yeah, me too.
Setting, I thought it was described well. I knew exactly, again, where everything was, what was going on. I felt like I could picture the both the honeycombs and the gardens really well. And then world building, it was simple world building, but I don't think it needed more than that. I felt like what it gave us was adequate, and I didn't have any like really die hard lingering questions. There was like more I wanted to know, but it wasn't necessarily like
Yeah. Yeah, I thought the setting was really cool. I liked the slips, I liked the pods, I liked the burritos being a really like core part of their food. Burritos and protein bars was really fun to me. I enjoyed that. So it was cool.
it
Lots of fun little gadgets that felt very like appropriate for living on a spaceship.
was like engineer's mechanic with the pancakes.
Yeah. Yeah, burrito.
Yep.
There you go. Burritos and protein bars were his thing, and in Engineer's Mechanic, it was the pancakes.
Yeah, so we got a point each there.
Which
And then
he is in Arizona, and we have a lot of amazing burritos in Arizona. So,
not so much in Michigan.
well,
I
you're
mean,
missing
you
out.
got Taco Bell, a Michigan staple.
Uno quiero Taco Bell.
Mm-hmm. Pacing and structure. I liked the pacing. I mean, it's not a very big book, and I was happy with everything that was accomplished, and the speed that it was accomplished.
Me too.
Especially like it. I feel like sometimes you can kind of get stuck in like minor details, in like planning heists and stuff like that, or not enough, and you kind of move too quick. And there was times where I wanted a little bit more, but then I'm like, I don't necessarily need it
Yeah.
in this instance. So I thought it was appropriate for what we got.
Yeah, I agree. It kept moving right along. It was when we got a nice little intro, nice little slice of life of these characters, got to see their stories, and then it was into heist planning, and the whole story just didn't stop moving in a good way. It wasn't like too much action where it's like we need lulls, but it was like it kept moving right along. It was good. Pacing,
I
structure,
felt
good.
I felt like the structure too needs to be highlighted that it was good because with indie books it can be pretty tough. Um Especially if you're editing and doing all that your own. I don't know if he was, he might have had an editor, but either way, I felt like it was done really well, which again is hard to do. I feel like
Yeah,
you're doing it yourself.
we always talk about structure being one of those things you either have or you don't. It's either like, when you have it, it's almost too easy for us to say structure was there, it was great. But when you don't have it, it's like, so the structure was something. But
Hmm.
from there onwards to our emotional impact. This one was tough because I recognized that the characters experienced emotions, but I don't know if it was in a way that I felt was impactful to me or to the story. Like those like Dutch's brother dying was an experience emotion, it was emotionally impactful to Dutch, but it was like you said, it was not quite purposeful enough for me. And then the emotional situations that Chloe and Penny had felt pretty surface level, I guess I would say.
Hmm.
What do you think about that? I gave it a half point. Yeah, I don't know if I said that.
Yeah, I gave it a half point because, like you said, I could tell the characters were feeling emotion, but I feel like it didn't translate enough for me to feel it, which is fine. But I felt like some of the situations, the emotional situations, like his brother dying, just felt like, well, I have to put this in there so the character will like. It felt like it was just thrown in there, not just thrown in there, because you could tell it was purposeful. But I feel like it didn't need to happen. It was more so just for like a shock value thing, more so than for actually
Yeah, it just
driving the story.
it could have tied into the plot more. Like it just could have tied into the resolution of the story. It could have tied into something with the heist. It just needed more of a tie that made it necessary for, I think, the group.
And also, it could be more of like a personal thing too, because this was a very YA book.
Yeah.
Um, it definitely was like there's no question about, which is we knew that going in, but I just might not connect with that, whereas someone who is younger might actually connect with that. It
Could
wasn't for
be
me,
a
so that's why I gave
personal
it a half
thing.
point.
Could
Could
be
be
a
a personal
personal
point.
thing. Yeah.
Because it was there for the characters, it just wasn't there there for me.
I agree.
Writing style and prose, I gave this one a half point. I felt the prose was good for YA. I felt like it fit fine. The characters all talked like they should. There was no it didn't nothing seemed out of whack or out of context. But it was the first like couple of times, like we said, I didn't know how we got from one point to another. Writing style wise, I don't know if I just missed like it just felt like we jumped from like one thing to the next. I'm not describing this how I want to. It felt like there was a lot of plot convenience. Like, for instance, what I wanted to talk about earlier, Penny being so smart. First off, I thought these characters were middle schoolers for like the first half of the book.
Yeah,
I
me
did not
too.
understand. And then at one point, it's like, oh, they're in their senior year. I'm like, whoa, that makes a lot more sense. But I guess they did seem a little bit more childish than they were. I think Marty kind of made them seem more childish. They're like, oh, let me get like a Coke. And I don't know, it just seemed that way. But then Penny being, oh, I memorized every coding language
In
in
48
less than
hours.
3. Yeah, I was like,
I
I
thought
mean,
it was
okay,
cool.
it was
Yeah.
cool,
But it
but
was some plot
how?
convenience. Yeah.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
don't mind
That was
that,
like
but when it's over glaring plot convenience, I'm like, all right.
that was like a tonal thing for me. I very much agree that it for a little bit felt like they were middle schoolers. And then I'm not sure if this belongs here, but I had a lot of questions that were like, how are they going to use money if they live on a spaceship and they steal this money? Is nobody going to follow the money? And like, it's YA, so we don't necessarily need answers to some of those broader questions, I think. But there were situations like that at first, like, I felt like they were middle schoolers, and I was like, why are adults pulling middle schoolers into a bank heist?
Yeah, hey, when you're out of class later, want to steal $5 million from me? I know you're stealing a protein bar, but how about $5 million? It was kind of like,
It
okay.
was it was definitely a very big jump. You know, it could have been they definitely yeah, there's two heists in the book, right? It starts out and they're stealing protein bars from a bodega, and then it's like, and now we're stealing $5 million from a vault.
From the vault and the only part of civilization basically left that controls all the money for all the people.
So it's definitely a voicing issue for me, and I don't know if I mean it was intentional, right? So he wrote it that way, and that's his story. It's just I wasn't sure if it was. I don't know. I'm not communicating well, but it was just a tonal issue for me. It felt like at times it was younger, and at times it didn't necessarily make sense, and we had some plot convenience written in.
I liked, and we didn't mention this before in the characters, I liked our raccoon friend.
But yeah,
I liked our little buddy,
what was his name? Mojito.
Mojito.
Yeah,
I
I
liked
liked him
Mojito.
too.
You always love a sidekick, especially when it's like some sort of animal or something. And
Yeah,
raccoon's unique.
some
It's
animal
like Hooper
friendly.
action.
And the Thievis Raccoonus, oh my gosh. I don't even think I put that together until just now.
I
Amazing.
actually just came up with it just now. I have a little. Can you even see it on the camera? I have a little. He's right. I can't point to him, man. Hold the camera. Wait, I don't have to hold the camera. Got my ass. There.
Oh, I see him. I didn't see him until you pointed to him, so I'm glad you pointed to him.
Sly Cooper Funko. Um, yeah, but Mojito,
Yeah, Mojito was fun. But yeah,
integral.
I liked his use of like slang, and he definitely did a good job making it feel like YA as they were talking. But like I said, sometimes the tone felt I was like, are they kids? Are they teenagers? Are they young adults? What's happening here?
Yeah, I
So
would agree.
yeah, so half point from both of us there. Jumping into the themes and depth.
Uh,
I'll let you go first on this one. What do you think about the themes and depth?
so I didn't feel it was very deep. I don't think, and that's fine. Doesn't have to. But because it's not really there, it doesn't get the point for it, which is fine. Not every book needs that.
Yeah.
It's just something, and it can even be something doesn't make sense, simple but deep. Like a simple topic can be explored, pretty in depth. Like found family can be
Yeah.
like your only theme, but it can be a pretty deep. You can dive into that in a book. But I think so. I give it a half point because it did feel like it had good moral dilemma. Um, Penny being against, a lot of this, but then doing it for her mom. So she went
Right.
against her morals to go ahead and help her mom out. And then um Dutch was basically in a dilemma the whole book.
Yeah.
Um More personal dilemma, but still he went against he was from the gardens and he's stealing from people from the gardens who would either be his mom or work for his mom. And he had to go in the airlock or in the Eva suit after losing his arm, doing the same thing, and living up to his potential, even though his father was like hugged him for the first time in years after he said, "Hey, he's going back out there." It's like, oh damn, my chair's falling apart.
Fix it.
It like cut my arm. It's like, what the heck?
What the heck? What the heck and heck?
What the heck, man? Anyway, so half point. There was some moral dilemma there, but there wasn't really many themes to explore.
Yeah, I had the same thoughts. I gave it half point as well. The little bit of growth, it's similar to character development, right? Like I think the growth we saw from Dutch and the little bit of growth we saw from Penny, why I gave it a half point, and I enjoyed those, but I could have seen it explored more in a simple way, right? It doesn't have to be complex. It could have been done simply, but to get a full point, I just would have wanted to see it explored more.
I would agree. And then lasting impacts of rereadability. Dakota, where you at on our final
Yeah,
final point here?
we always talk about how this is a tough one. So I gave it a half point because when we eventually get to the sequel, I'm excited to know where it goes next. I'm interested to know what happened. The world had a lasting impact on me enough to want to stay in it, to want to read the sequel, to see where we go, where the characters are going, where Jubilee is running away to. But I probably wouldn't reread this. Probably don't need to. It's not one of those books that I'll be like, what happened in the first book, and I'll have to like pick up and reread to get everything.
Yeah,
So
I'm exactly on the same page. I will eventually want to get to book 2. But I read the book and I'm fine with leaving it at that. I don't need to revisit it.
yeah,
It was a fun story. It was a unique story, but lasting impact just wasn't there for me. And that is one of those purely subjective points. Actually, this whole point is purely subjective.
it's true.
That we break up here. So yeah, half point there. And our no point category we did not
Oh, we
judge
missed
this
it.
book by its
We
cover.
forgot to.
It's simple.
I like it. It's cool. It's a vault.
It's like a Beyblade.
It's nifty. It does. It's one of those things that did it take you a minute to realize that that's a vault door? Because it took me a minute.
I didn't realize that until you said it right now.
I didn't realize that until you held up the camera, and I was like, "It's a vault door." I'm dumb.
Do I just not pay attention to things? Like, do you ever think that you're like, am I just coasting through life? Do I not look at my surroundings? Am I just here?
I was like, "That's a cool glowy thing on the cover," and then you held up the camera, and I was like, "It's a vault. It's a vault door." I
tell you what,
insane.
though, I think it's okay. It's simple. It fits.
Yeah, I like
bill.
it.
It doesn't stand out, but it's not bad.
Yeah.
I want something on the back though, more than just words.
I will say, if I had just saw the cover and if it was like showing me a bunch of covers and I saw that cover, I probably wouldn't pick it out of a lineup. Be like, that's the one that's hooked me in the most. I like it. It matches the story. It's simple. It's a cool cover.
Yeah. So that's Chloe's Kingdom. What do we rate this here?
We gave this
what's your score?
I believe we gave this a 7 out of 10. Both of us. I think we agreed on everything. We did. And
7
we gave
out of
it a
10. That ain't bad. I think that's basically what 3.5, 4 on Goodreads, depending on. So we round up.
Goodreads
so
scale.
I think we're at 4 out of 5 here.
Yeah,
if I remember correctly.
Correctly.
So yay, that was Chloe's Kingdom. Everyone, 7 out of 10.
Definitely.
If you're looking for a heist, quick read, and you're into reading YAs, I know not everybody's not. This will be for you. You get a fun cast, you get a fun story, and you get more later on in the sequel if you want to continue. So go ahead and check out Chloe's Kingdom by Gregory Michael. Do you want to tell the world what we're reading next? You just had a stroke because we're not reading that next. That was added to our wheel, folks.
3, 2, 1.
No, we're keeping all this in. So, well, Dakota figures his life
It's
out.
been a
We're
long
actually
day.
reading.
I remember
What we're
reading.
actually reading. Anyway, we're reading Dueling Shoulder Angels by Ben Shankman, which is the sequel to My Boss is the Devil, and it's the second out of a trilogy. And there's a short little prequel thing that we got sent as well. So we're very excited to dive into that. And we'll be posting that later this week because we're going to power read it.
It's true, we are.
Book one was really good. I think I gave it a 10 out of 10.
I think we both did. I think we really liked his prose. We really liked his everything. It was fun. Not so cozy urban fantasy.
Not so cozy urban fantasy. Thanks again for watching. Kirsten Dakota on RSQ.
And we next time.